Hey there, so if you know me, you would know that I'm a little bit weird, just a smidgen weird. And something that was running through my head a couple days ago was, it's 2013. That's kind of an obvious thought to have, Dylan. Well, the reason I was thinking this was because I read some books in 2012 that I have not yet reviewed, and it's 2013, and it's making me anxious for some reason. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be reviewing all of the books that I haven't reviewed yet from 2012 in this video right here. So these are the books I will be reviewing. They are The Wallflower by Chbosky, The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald, and The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. So I'm going to start with this book, and let's begin. All these reviews will be quite shortish, hopefully, because, you know, most of them have been read by you, most of them have been out for a long time, and so yes. Here we go. This is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. It is about a girl named Hazel who is diagnosed with stage 4 thyroid cancer. And even though there's like kind of a solution to her problem that is keeping her, this treatment that's keeping her cancerous cells down and small, she still has to live with cancer. It still impacts her life a lot. And she knows that the solution is quite temporary and that one day she will probably die. So she's definitely prepared to die, and she's 16 years old. And then enters Augustus Waters, who is this really cool, really intelligent, really amazing guy, and they, you know, they meet, they start to have this relationship, this romance, and the book continues. So I really enjoyed this book. I liked it so much. The things I liked the most about this book was the writing. The writing was really amazing. There was lots and lots of quotes in this book, and lots of parts that I really thought were quotable, like lots of parts that I read and I was like, ooh, I need to write that down because that's amazing. So definitely amazing writing in this book. Peter Van Houten and Isaac in this book were awesome. I liked them so much. They were so cool. I would have liked to see more of Peter Van Houten. Like, John Green should do like a spin-off or something about him because he was amazing. He was like one of those characters that you just like so much, but you also loathe so much. And he was awesome. I also like the parents of Hazel as well. But I mean, you have to like the parents of cancer kids. You just do, because you do. And the other thing I really liked was the second half of this book. It was really cool, really emotional. I felt like the chord was just being broken and all the emotion and the feelings and the things were just being flooded out, and we were getting to see everything, and it was awesome. The things I didn't like about this book was that it was a cancer book. And that might be strange because, you know, the main character has cancer, but I don't really like the idea of a cancer book. I feel like, this is the first cancer book I've read, I feel like cancer books, like the very nature of what they are going to make you, if you are human, they're going to make you sad, especially when they're about a young, like, person. A young person? How old am I? Especially when they're about a teenager. So I don't know. There's some sense of manipulation in that fact that, you know. I mean, I'm not saying that he went out of his way to manipulate me to feel sad about this book and, you know, like it more because of that. I don't like cancer books because they're this obvious way of making you feel emotion. I like to be manipulated very discreetly, you know? That's the good way. Also, the other thing I didn't like is that this really echoed some of his other writing, and when I say his other writing, I mean the one other book of his that I've read. But I've watched reviews about his other books, and the characters in this book seem to very kind of well reflect the other characters in his other books, and there seem to be lots of aspects that are kind of the same, like different characters, different names, but the same kind of characters, the same kind of characteristics. And I mean, there's definitely a place for writers to have the same style in all of their books and stuff like that, but I don't like it when they're too closely together, like the same kind of book. I don't know, I don't like when it's too similar. I like them to be, you know, different enough. So yes, that's what I didn't like about this book. I really enjoyed this book though. It demands to be read. It's an amazing book, and I definitely recommend it to you. I give it 5 out of 5. The next book I want to talk about is The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Chbosky. This is a book about a boy named Charlie who is starting high school, and he doesn't really have friends. He doesn't really have things in his life, and it's about him making friends and filling his life with things and having experiences and doing different things. It's a coming of age novel, and that's kind of the idea of what I had when I read this book, but it is so much more than that. The issues in this book are so huge. The things that Charlie has gone through and is going through in this book is amazing, and they're just these huge, huge issues, and you do not expect them, and they're all approached in this very simple way. Charlie, the book is written in letter format, so Charlie is writing kind of like a journal, or kind of letters actually, to this person he calls a friend, and it kind of feels like he's talking to you. And also, Charlie is a very, not simple, he's a very intelligent person, but he's definitely, he sees things in a very simple way as opposed to complex, obviously. And I don't know, he's kind of a strange kind of character, I would say. A lot of people have said that he's autistic, and I don't know, I wouldn't say he's autistic. I'm kind of particular about this sort of thing because at some point in my life I wanted to be a psychiatrist, and he has some symptoms of autism, but he also has some characteristics that are definitely not autistic. So I would maybe put him on the autistic spectrum, which includes like Asperger's and other things like that, but I wouldn't say he's autistic. I don't know. I'm not a psychiatrist, so, you know. But yeah, he definitely has that kind of that simpleness about him, but he definitely, you know, he sees the emotional feelings of other people around him and stuff like that. Anyway, so the issues in this book are seen and shown to you very simply, and it's just, I really, really like this book. The things I really liked with this book was Charlie. Charlie was so innocent, he was so pure. Like, things would happen and he would just let them go. He wouldn't hold grudges against people, and that's definitely something I need to work on. Also, the book, the way that it was written, the fact that it was kind of written to me, or at least it felt that way, it made me connect with the book so much. And I think if you read this book with that in mind, and also thinking back to your own time in high school, I think it will have a really good effect on you, and you'll really, really enjoy it. The other thing I really liked about this book was that, as I said, it's written kind of simply, but it just deals with such intense, amazing things in such a different and cool way. The things I didn't like about this book was there are a lot of things that happen in this book. A lot of issues, as I said, a lot of big ones, and it almost felt like there was a checklist of things that, you know, needed to be in this book, all the bad things that could possibly happen, and they were kind of checked off. Basically, the only thing that wasn't in this book was someone with cancer was on this book. Charlie didn't have cancer, and so that's the only thing that didn't happen, really. And I don't know, there's that whole manipulation thing again. I don't think it was on purpose, obviously, but I don't like it when books are so, I don't know, when they just have these things that make you feel a certain way, and they couldn't possibly make you feel any other way. And I don't know, I don't like that. It wasn't an issue while reading it, but looking back I can see it, and I kind of didn't like that. But I still really enjoyed this book, and I give it 5 out of 5. The last book I'm going to talk about to you today is The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I'm going to read the back for you because it's really simple and it explains everything really well, so here we go. J. Gatsby is a self-made man famed for his decadent champagne-drenched parties. Despite being surrounded by Long Island's bright and beautiful, he longs only for Daisy Buchanan. In shimmering prose, Fitzgerald shows Gatsby pursue his dream to its tragic conclusion. And there's also a quote from Richard Yates which says, "A stunning illumination of the world, not only a miracle of talent, but a triumph of technique." This book was really amazing. One thing I want to say to add to that explanation or summary of the book is that it's written through the perspective of Nick Carraway, who moves to New York, and he moves next to J. Gatsby. So everything was said through his perspective, and that was kind of unexpected for me. I thought this would be like through the perspective of J. Gatsby, but it was not. And also, Mr. Gatsby comes on in kind of late in the book, and it always shifts back more than I would have expected to Nick, which is kind of strange, but you know, it was really cool and I really enjoyed it still. The things I really liked about this book was the writing. The writing, as it says in the quote by Richard Yates, was illuminating, and it was a triumph of technique. It was really amazing, you guys. It just, everything about this book, the writing, the characters, the things that they would say, it just consumed you in this world, and just, it made you there. It was just so amazing. The other thing I really liked is kind of a strange thing, but I'm going to say it anyway, is that I didn't like any of the characters. I know that's a strange thing to like about a book, but it is what I liked. All of the characters were very, very flawed, and they were all not likable. They were all kind of pretentious, and all the things they kind of dealt with were kind of not important, really. And I just really liked that for some reason. I liked that all the characters were these really unlikable people. I don't know why, I can't explain it. I felt it kind of refreshing almost. The things I didn't like about this book was that this book doesn't really give you anything to take away from it. It's kind of a story for being a story. That's kind of all it is. It doesn't really give you any lessons to be learned. You know, it doesn't have really, I mean, it has themes obviously, but it doesn't really give you anything. And I really didn't think about it that much after I read it. Another thing I didn't really like is that the characters and the story and you are kind of separated. As I said, the characters are kind of pretentious and not likable, and the story is kind of frivolous almost. It doesn't seem to have anything really important that it's talking about. I mean, it's a love story, right? But because you can't connect with any of the characters because they're so pretentious and so up themselves, it doesn't become important to you, so you don't really connect to it. And what I would say to that is that this story, I think, is all about the story itself, the writing, and the world. It's not about giving you anything or having you connect with the characters themselves. So if you like stories because of writing, I would definitely recommend this to you. But if you need to connect with characters, if you need to like characters, then I maybe wouldn't recommend this to you. This book was definitely amazing at giving you this kind of glimpse into this world, but not really more than that. But I really, really enjoyed it because I really, really, really like the writing of books. I really enjoy prose. And the prose in this was amazing. So I'm going to give it 5 out of 5 because I really liked it. So that was my review of these 3 books right here. I know, I gave them all 5 out of 5. I know. But I just really like them so much and they were really cool. And maybe I need to be harder on books this year. We shall see. We shall see. Yeah, so if you want me to do like a book talk or any other video talking about these books, then please tell me in the comments section below because I will do it if you want me to. I definitely would be able to do book discussions about these books because I really found them all amazing and I have lots of things to say about them. And that is all. Thumbs up and like this video if you liked it, and tell me anything you want to in the comments section below because I love comments. And yes, why do I always go like this when I point down? Does my elbow need to be in your face? No, it does not. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this and I will see you next time. Bye. So in this video we're going to be doing my top 12 books of 2012. And the #1 book for 2012 is